Hello, my name is Jacob Matthew with JE Studios Sports Productions NC Broadcast, and I'm proud to present Appalachian State's 2016 football preview with JE Studios Sports Productions NC. I usually do Appalachian State stuff from a range of sports, but Appalachian State University is my favorite team, so I'm proud to present this year's predictions. Now, let me get started. This is a historic season for the Mountaineers after a 17-point comeback in the Camellia Bowl against Ohio to become the first FBS team to win a bowl game in their first year eligible for a bowl, and had the best record at 11-2 for a team in its first fully pledged FBS season. The second team to win a bowl game in its first fully pledged FBS season was Georgia Southern a few weeks later against Bowling Green in the GoDaddy Bowl, now known as the Dollar General Bowl. This season, ASU will make history with their opponents and schedule. First, ASU will not be playing an FCS opponent for the first time in the history. Second, they'll play three night games during this week for the first time in their season. Plus, they will face two Power 5 conference teams for the 16th time ever in the season. And one of those means Miami, Florida, out of the ACC will make a historic trip to Boone, North Carolina. I have my tickets, and become the first Power 5 conference member to play at Kimbrough Stadium. In 2018, Wake Forest will become the second ever Power 5 school to visit ASU. ASU is 7-30 all time versus opponents from the ACC. This year, ASU will not be playing conference games against Arkansas State, South Alabama, the only two teams in conference besides Georgia Southern to beat App State. ASU has an easy conference schedule with a record-breaking crowd expected to see Appalachian State take on ACC opponent Miami, Florida at home. I predict ASU will lose only one game to Tennessee and go 12-1, including a bowl win against NIU or ECU, like in my other video I predicted ECU, in the Camellia Bowl or the Cure Bowl. With Jalen Moore, Jalen, Marcus, and Terrence back, ASU is in great shape to have an unstoppable rushing attack. With Taylor Lamb as quarterback and Crusoe as backup, ASU is in great shape to be able to pass and run the ball both ways. There is not a lot lost on defense besides the loss of Ronald Blair. Our wide receivers are in okay shape, not perfect shape, but in okay shape. Let me go back. We are okay. I expect ASU to run the ball more than they pass it. ASU's O-line should be good enough to give Taylor Lamb time to pass the ball, make holes for Marcus, Jalen, and Terrence to run the ball. The D-line should be able to get plenty of sacks and get in the backfield a lot. This year, I expect ASU's backfield to make a lot of turnovers and pick sixes. With the loss of our cornerback, I forget his name, Latrell Gibbs, it's going to be kind of hard to do that, though. So this year, I expect Appalachian State University to be one of the best teams in the nation, possibly going to a huge bowl game, if not the Camellia Bowl or the Cure Bowl. This Appalachian State team is one of the best teams in years, so get ready, Mountaineer fans. It's time to play ball. Now, let's go to our first game of the season. Appalachian State University, Thursday night game against Tennessee. First meeting, SEC. This game will kick off an exciting and historic season for the Mountaineers. However, I think Tennessee, with its best team expected in years and best in my predictions to go into the playoffs, will be ready to go against the Mountaineers. I think this will be a good learning experience for ASU's newcomers and old-timers on the team. It will be a good practice for the University of Miami game at home. Tennessee will beat App 45-21. The Mountaineers will put up a fight, but will not be good enough to stop the Tennessee Volunteers. This Vols team will just be too good to stop. It will be a great game to watch because of the experience and talent ASU and Tennessee brings to the table. It will be a good one to watch. Tennessee is predicted to be ranked this year. They're number 5, 9, 4, whatever you want to call them. But ASU is 1-12 all time versus ranked teams. The only win was in 2007 against number 5 ranked Michigan, which Tennessee is ranked number 5 in most polls. So this may be an upset again. If ASU can pull off the upset, it will be the second time ASU wins against the number 5 power ranked team. Second game, ASU versus Old Dominion. 1-0 ASU leads Conference USA opponent Old Dominion. Won last year 49 to nothing. 49-0. With a blowout last year, 49-0, and ODU's first shutout in the history and the largest loss at home, and it was the first meeting between these two former FCS schools, the Mountaineers took Monarchs to the dump. I don't think it will be any different this year with a prolific rushing attack from the Mountaineers, and the Mountaineers will smother the Monarchs again 52-7. This will be a really big win for the Mountaineers to prepare them for the next week opponent, the Miami Hurricanes. I'm going to scrap that score actually right now and put 34-24 right there, because I feel like after looking up more stuff, they're better than this was early on in the season, preseason, so I'm just going to scrap that score and say that the Monarchs will not squish the Monarchs, but come a close game, 24-34. ASU will win. This will be a really big win for the Mountaineers to prepare them for the next week opponent, the Miami Hurricanes. The Monarchs did not go to a bowl game last year, but I predict them to go to a bowl game this year. They're a very young team, plus people expect a lot more out of them last year. But ASU is just too good to let that happen. ASU is 63-20-2 all-time in home openers and 26-2 all-time in their first games being at home. And last year marked the first time since 2013 a Sun Belt opponent won against a Conference USA opponent and made the fourth shutout in 3 previous 14 games. ASU is 20-13 all-time for its Conference USA opponents, but the first win over an active Conference USA opponent. Now, for the biggest game of the season, the Miami Hurricanes at the Appalachian State Mountaineers, Week 3, ESPN, noon. First meeting, ACC opponent, Miami, Florida. With this being the first time a Power 5 school visits App in Boone, North Carolina, I expect a record-breaking crowd to confuse and stun the Hurricanes of Miami, Florida. They have played in many loud stadiums and fan-filled stadiums before, but the Rock is no ordinary stadium. It's home to one of the nation's best teams in home wins and one of the nicest facilities in the country. This isn't no ordinary team either. Their reputation for playing dirty. This may be a dogfight to the very end, but I expect the Mountaineers will take the win with the help of the best defense expected in a couple years. The Mountaineers will just tear through the Hurricanes defense with the prolific offense. ASU will take the 35-29 win, and the Mountaineers will improve to 2-1 on the season. This will mark one of ASU's all-time home wins and become known as one of the best games in ASU history at home. For overall, ASU is 7-30 all-time against teams from the ACC. All 7 wins coming against Wake Forest back in the 1900s, early 2000s. Now we go to another. I expect all our non-conference opponents this year to go to bowl games. That's how good the non-conference is. So be prepared, Mountaineers fans. If we lose a game, don't be really upset. These teams are supposed to be really good this year. We have App State at Akron. First meeting, MAC opponent, Akron Zips. With this being the very first meeting between these two teams, you don't know what to expect. But this Mountaineers team, I bet, will be forced to pass against the stingy Kangaroo defense like last year against Georgia State. Or maybe an air attack team. We just don't know. We can run all of them, we just don't know. Unless you study them and have a prior knowledge on what they do. Which I don't. Unless I study some more, I will. With a great QB like Taylor Lamb and 3 tremendous running backs to lead the way on the passing the ball and running the ball, I predict ASU to improve to 3-1 on the season and win 35-7 and end on conference play with a 3-1 record. Next week, ASU will take on Georgia State at home on the Black Saturday at the Rock. I'll be right back with more information. This is Jacob Elliott. Be right back. Hello, I'm Jacob Elliott, and I'm back with the conference schedule for ASU. Let's get